Hello everybody, and welcome to my overview of the Glitch Quest. For those of you who missed out, the Glitch Quest was Graal Classic's most ambitious quest yet, and a celebration of the server's 10-year anniversary. This event ran through January 13th, 2020 to April 5th, 2020. And if you were around during the event, you may have noticed a few odd things. All around the map, objects and buildings started to glitch out, and mysterious worms roamed around. Eventually, 9 different portals opened up. These portals would send you back to various different years in Graal Classic's history, letting you explore the past, complete quests, and discover unique items. Many of these locations featured shops in their original glory, with plenty of items for sale, old and new. In Swamp Town, you would find a portal that takes you to 2010. On Delta Island, there was a portal that took you to 2011. In Snow Town, Mod Town, and Onett, there were portals that all took you to 2012. The portal in Yorktown would take you to 2013, and next door, the Nexus portal goes to 2014. The Deadwood portal goes to 2015, and finally the portal at the castle takes you to 2016. Now there are 5 quests that you are able to complete during this event. First, we start with the Deadwood time anomaly. Upon entering the Deadwood portal, you are sent back to 2015, but it is immediately noticeable that things aren't as they should be. Deadwood is overgrown and run by bushfolk. By exploring around what is now Bushtown, we come across a bank. With our morphine abilities, we are able to sneak inside and snatch an old key. To mend this time anomaly, we will need to go further back in time and kick out the bushfolk before they can fully take up residence in Deadwood. To do this, we will need to head over to the Swamp Town portal. This takes us to 2010, and with our trusty lantern, we can navigate the labyrinth of caves. After getting lost several times, we come across Azrael trying to get in, but the door is locked. Fortunately, the key that we borrowed from the bank opens the door. Now, once inside, our plan of attack is clear. We need to destroy the 3 gigantic bushes that they are growing, and open up the barricade at the entrance of Bushtown. However, this task is easier said than done. The bushfolk won't simply stand idle while we go and destroy their town. This is where the art of stealth comes in. We use the environment to sneak past and stun the bushfolk. With the correct timing and patience, we are able to destroy each giant bush without the locals ever noticing. And with all 3 bushes destroyed, the bushfolk are completely overcome with grief, and we can now open up the barricade to let in the eagerly awaiting players. Now that Bushtown is liberated and the time anomaly fixed, we can collect a time anomaly artifact. And if we head back into the Deadwood portal, we are able to see that things are back to normal. And while we're at it, we can purchase a unique juggle and home layout. Next up, we head over to the Nexus time anomaly. This portal sends you back to 2014, and inside we stumble across a mysterious figure clad in black. He tells us how the cultists have taken things a bit too far, and he is unable to open the Nexus. In the cave underneath the Nexus, a builder tells us about this load-bearing pillar that holds the ground above it. He remarks that not even a super bomb can destroy the pillar. And perhaps the super bomb can't do the job, but maybe there is a way to exploit this weakness. Well, first things first, we should go ahead and find ourselves a super bomb. Luckily for us, there are some old admins wreaking havoc inside these portals. All we need to do is snag one for ourselves and not get blown up. The next step is to find a way to the pillar before it was reinforced. It just so happens that there is a cave system at the Mod Town portal that takes us back to 2012 and leads us to where we need to go. So we carefully carry the super bomb to our destination and unleash the power of the super bomb on this weakened pillar. With the deed done, we can head over back to the Nexus in our current time and collect another time anomaly artifact. Also, inside the portal, we can find that the Nexus is opened up to its full glory, with plenty of unique items to purchase. Going through the Onett portal will take us back to 2012, and at first glance, everything seems to be as it was. But if we head deep into the Witch's Forest, we will find that the Onett Witch has been experimenting potion ingredients with those glitch worms. The potion ended up backfiring, and she is in need of our help. The Onett Witch has a potion recipe that can bring her back to health, but she is in no condition to make it herself. So we are given the task to bring the recipe to her sister in Swamp Town and help her brew the potion. Now head into the Swamp Town portal, we find the witch's hut. She will agree to help, but she needs us to collect ingredients for the potion. That is a life bug, a healing fly, and a honeybee. Finding these bugs will not be easy, however. In the Delta Island portal, I was able to find the honeybee. In the Mod Town portal is where I was able to find the life bug. And lastly, further down in the Mod Town portal, I was able to take a trip to Air Asia and found myself a healing fly. After collecting all the bugs, the Swamp Town witch can experiment with the recipe with increasingly bizarre results. After all that is done, the witch is able to perfect the potion and transform herself to what she looks like today. Now that we have completed the potion, we can return to the Onett witch and claim our reward and another time anomaly artifact. Portal at the castle will send us to an alternate version of it that takes place in 2016. Sadly, the castle is in complete ruins. If we venture further into the castle, we will find the broken flag that we can collect. To restore the castle to its former glory, we will once again need to travel further back in time. It's fortunate for us that the portal on Delta Island takes place in 2011, and we can take the zip line over to the old castle. It turns out the Towering Guilds have returned and have taken over the castle. It's up to us to liberate the fallen castle, but this is no task for the weak, and Advisor Chad requires proof of our strength. Bringing him the broken flag that we claimed seems to be enough proof for him. Inside the castle, the place is completely overrun with old Towering Guilds. The battle is not easy, and we have to clear out 2 sections of the castle before moving on to the final flag room. With a bit of skill and luck, we are able to defeat all our foes and claim the flag for ourselves. This last room is heavily guarded, however, and requires us to defeat several enemies, all while taking down the flag. But in the end, we come out victorious and liberate the castle. After receiving congratulations and thank yous from the king, we can head back to the castle portal and collect another time anomaly artifact. And inside the portal, we can see that the castle is finally being rebuilt to how it is today. Lastly, we travel into the portal at Yorktown. This takes us back to 2013, but it only takes a little bit of exploration to tell that this place is hardly built and completely abandoned. To unravel this mystery, we will need to go back in time one more time. Well, as it turns out, the only portal we haven't explored yet is the one at Snowtown, taking place in 2012. Using this portal lets us carefully travel down the mountain into the old Yorktown. Here we find out that Laurie is trying to build up a nice resort here. He's already spent a bunch of gallets on the place, but he isn't getting any traffic. Laurie does have a plan in mind to make the resort more popular, and fortunately we are able to help, and possibly share in the profits. First off, we need to bury a treasure chest nearby. Once that's done, Laurie needs us to hand out flyers advertising his treasure hunt. Well, who better to advertise a treasure hunt to than some pirates? And now that the flyers are out, Laurie tells us that we need to sit and wait for the traffic to come in. Now with all that done, we can head back to our current time Yorktown and acquire our final time artifact. And inside the portal we see that Yorktown is in the process of being built up. Going back to Laurie, he tells us that his plan worked, but not really as intended. With the pirates invading Yorktown, King Tristan was forced to send in his troops, thus reinforcing and building up the town. Now with all 5 time anomaly artifacts collected, we can move on to the final challenge. To do so, we need to head over to the entrance of Graal City. Here we use all the time anomaly artifacts that we have collected so far and open up the portal. Going inside will take us to a recreation of the entire 2009 classic map. There is plenty to explore in this portal, but our goal lies ahead at Sardon's Tower. What dwells inside the tower seems to be the source of all this corruption, and of course it's up to us to vanquish it. Once we make our way to the top of Sardon's Tower, we can start this dungeon in earnest. In the first room we use a statue to defend ourselves from these flying cannonballs, and next we swiftly navigate this room of deadly speeding spikes. Well, we now have to defeat this red baddie in the swirling vortex room. Once our foe is defeated, we navigate down south through more traps and push the statue on top of a pressure plate, all while dodging more cannonballs. Once that's done, we can take a bit of a breather in this next room and solve this nice little puzzle and move on to the next section. With the next door open, we are led to another gauntlet of moving spikes and explosions. With our expert navigating skills, we can snatch the golden key and head back to the vortex room. In this hallway, we need to find the real statue among all these clockwork bombs. Heading north from here this time, we are able to use the golden key we collected to open up this big door. Here we simply have to kill a golden baddie and dodge more cannonballs. And in the next room, we need to activate all these statues without getting blown up. Now we have finally reached the top of the dungeon, and we can attempt to slay our last opponent. This giant glitch worm is the source of all the glitches and portals throughout Graal. With that power, it's able to fly around and create portals at will, making it impossible to hit. It goes without saying that this creature is deadly to the touch, and we need to keep an eye out for flying debris from all the portals opening. Luckily, we can use some of these debris against the boss by throwing them into the portal, prematurely closing them, and sending the worm to the ground. Now that the giant worm is vulnerable, we can chop away at its body bit by bit. The more parts we chop away, the more sporadic and deadly the worm gets. But at last we destroy this giant glitch worm as it squeals off one last ominous message. With the boss defeated and the land returned to normal, we can claim a part of the glitch worm's power for ourselves in the form of the corrupted source item. And as one final reward, we are able to enter the Revolution, where we can find recreations of some of Graal's classic popular hats. Now with all the time anomalies fixed, and the source of the corruption defeated, Graal Classic is back to normal once again. Now I want to thank you all for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Here are the winning comments for last week's video. This week's prompt is, what were your thoughts on the 10th anniversary event? What was done well and what could have been done better?